Prashant Mataji, whenever you're ready, you can start, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All worship you for the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtikim. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 8. Lord Nrsimhadev slays the king of the demons. Text 1. Narada Muni continued. All the sons of the demons appreciated the transcendental instructions of Prahlada Maharaj and took them very seriously. They rejected the materialistic instructions given by their teachers, Sanda and Amarka. When Sanda and Amarka, the sons of Sukracharya, observed that all the students, the sons of the demons, were becoming advanced in Krishna consciousness because of the association of Prahlada Maharaj, they were afraid. They approached the king of the demons and described the situation as it was. Text 3 to 4. When Hiranyakashipu understood the entire situation, he was extremely angry, so much so that his body trembled. Thus, he finally decided to kill his son Prahlada. Hiranyakashipu was by nature very cruel, and feeling insulted, he began hissing like a snake, trampled upon by someone's foot. His son Prahlada was peaceful, mild, and gentle. His senses were under control, and he stood before Hiranyakashipu with folded hands. According to Prahlada's age and behavior, he was not to be chastised. Yet with staring, crooked eyes, Hiranyakashipu rebuked him with the following harsh words. Text 5. Hiranyakashipu said, O most impure, most unintelligent disturber of the family, O lowest of mankind, you have violated my power to rule you, and therefore you are an obstinate fool. Today I shall send you to the place of Yamaraja. Text 6. My son Prahlada, you rascal, you know that when I am angry, all the planets of the three worlds tremble, along with their chief rulers. By whose power has a rascal like you become so imbued that you appear fearless and overstep my power to rule you? Text 7. Prahlada Maharaj said, My dear king, the source of my energy of which you are asking is also the source of yours. Indeed, the original source of all kinds of strength is one. He is not only your strength or mine, but the only strength for everyone. Without him, no one can get any strength. Whether moving or not non-moving, superior or inferior, everyone, including Lord Brahma, is controlled by the strength of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 8. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Supreme Controller and time factor, is the power of all senses, the power of mind, the power of the body, and the vital force of the senses. His influence is unlimited. He is the best of all living entities, the controller of the three modes of material nature. By his own power, he creates his cosmic manifestation, maintains it, and annihilates it also. Text 9. Prahlada Maharaj continued, My dear father, please give up your demonic mentality. Do not discriminate in your heart between enemies and friends. Make your mind equipoised toward everyone. Except for the uncontrolled and misguided mind, there is no enemy within this world. When one sees everyone on the platform of equality, one then comes to the position of worshipping the Lord perfectly. Text 10. In former times, there were many fools like you who did not conquer the six enemies that steal away the wealth of the body. These fools were very proud, thinking, I have conquered all enemies in all the 10 directions. But if a person is victorious over the six enemies and is equipoised toward all living entities. For him, there are no enemies. Enemies are merely imagined by one in ignorance. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the question.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, whenever you're ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prashanti Mataji, for reading today's section, Bhagavatam section, Sloka translations. Thank you all for joining. So today we will go through the Srimad Bhagavatam 7th Canto, 8th chapter, titled Lord Narasimhadev slays the king of the demons, from slokas 1 to 10. Start with prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachattadeshatarane. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So just to give you a background, we are in the section of Prahlad Maharaj. So in the last chapter, we heard how Prahlad Maharaj, when his classmates asked, so how did he learn this Krishna conscious knowledge from Narad Muni? When did he got the association? Because they were all under the control of their teachers, Shanda and Amarka. So to answer that, Prahlad Maharaj narrated how he learned this philosophy from Narada Muni. Like when Hiranyakashipu went to Mandarachala mountain to perform severe austerity, and taking that opportunity, the demigods attacked the demons and Hiranyakashipu's palace, and then they defeated all the demons and arrested Kayadu, and they wanted to keep Kayadu under their control, so that because at that time Kayadu was pregnant, and they thought the baby in the womb is going to be another demon. So they wanted to keep Kayadu under their control, and when the baby is born, they wanted to kill that baby like that. But Narada Muni stopped Indra and the demigod, saying that the baby in the womb of the Kayadu is a great devotee, so they cannot be able to kill. So Indra and the demigods accepting Narada Muni's words as it is. So they released Kayadu. Not only that, they also circumambulated Prahlad Maharaj, who is in the womb of Mother Kayadu. And Narada Muni took Kayadu to his ashramam, and then he preached this Krishna consciousness. And Prahlad Maharaj listened very attentively, though he was in the womb of his mother, whatever Narada Muni taught that. And the same in teachings, he gave it to his classmates, saying that we are spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. We are not this material body. Our only duty is to take shelter of the Supreme Lord and become free from all material entanglements. Like that he preached. So today we will see the effect of that preaching and what happened next like that. So in this chapter, very high level, so how Hiranyakashipu wanted to kill Prahlad Maharaj, but Supreme Lord appeared as Lord Narasimhadev and killed Hiranyakashipu and protected Prahlad Maharaj. So the first session we will see from slokas 1 to 10. So here, so Narada Muni is continuing this narration to Yudhishthira Maharaj, saying that when Prahlad Maharaj preached this Krishna consciousness to all his classmates who are the sons of the demons, so they appreciated it, this translation, and they took it very seriously. Not only that, they rejected the material education that is given by their teacher Shanda and Namak. And Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport that this is the effect of the preaching of a pure devotee, like Prahlad Maharaj. When an exalted devotee preaches Krishna consciousness, there will be impact on the audience who are listening. So Prabhupada mentions that if a devotee is practicing this Krishna conscious sincerely and seriously, then when he go and preaches this Krishna consciousness, then that will be effective and people will be able to take it. So unless we practice, if we go and try to preach this Krishna consciousness to others, the effect is very less. And sometime back I heard, like, so there was one sage, and one time one mother, she took her child to the sage and requested the sage to give an instruction to the child, because the child is eating too many sweets, and she is worried, like, if his health is going to be spoiled by eating too many sweets. So the mother requested sage to give that instruction. The sage told that, sure, I'll do that, but come after 2 weeks. So the mother again took this boy after 2 weeks to the sage, and then the sage gave the instruction this time to the boy not to eat too many sweets. It's not good for health. So once in a while, maybe 1 or 2 sweets you can eat, like that. So then the boy took that instruction and started following it. But the mother got a question, why the sage did not give this instruction in the beginning. So then she asked the sage, so why you didn't give this instruction in the beginning? So he told that, without following, if I tell the instruction, then it will not be effective. So that, which means that the sage was also eating too many sweets at that time. So that's why he was not in a position to give that instruction to the boy. Because without he following, if he gives instruction to the boy, so it may not be effective. So that's why the sage took 2 weeks to control eating too many sweets by himself. Then he was able to give the instruction, and it was effective at that time. So similarly, as a practicing devotee, we are preaching to someone else this Krishna consciousness. So we should also follow as best as we can. And Prabhupada mentions another point is, so this Krishna conscious philosophies or the Krishna Katha is very satisfying to the heart. Prabhupada quotes Bhagavatam sloka line, Rasayana Kataha, Bhavanti Hrit Karna Rasayana Katha. It's very pleasing to the heart. So especially when a pure devotee or exalted devotee narrating Krishna consciousness or the Krishna Katha, then the people who are listening attentively, they'll get inspired because it is very satisfying to the heart. And then if they practice based on the teachings of this exalted devotee, the Krishna consciousness, then they will become a wonderful devotees. So here we see that, Prahlad Maharaj preached the Krishna consciousness because he's a pure devotee, and it became an impact to these classmates of Prahlad Maharaj, who are the sons of demons. They became great Vaishnavas. And so that, they did not like the teachings of their teachers, Shandam and Amarka, because they are talking about the material education, like economic development, politics, those kind of things. They did not like it. So, and in the second sloka, we see that, the Shanda and Amarka, so when they see that all the students are becoming Krishna consciousness, so they were very afraid. So then they went and described the situation to Hiranyakashipu, what is going on. And Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport that there is a word called Buddhim Ekanta Samistitam. So that means when an exalted devotee preaches Krishna consciousness, and whoever listened, they will become fixed up in Krishna consciousness. And they will understand that the only object of human life is to practice Krishna consciousness. And here, because of the Prahlad Maharaj association and his preaching to his classmates, the sons of demons, so they took it up, this Krishna consciousness, sincerely and seriously. So they were fixed up in Krishna consciousness, and they are becoming advanced in Krishna consciousness. So this made the teachers of these sons of demons, Shanda and Amarka, they were afraid because everyone is becoming Krishna consciousness and king may become angry. So first they want to go and describe the situation. So in the text 3 to 4, we see that, after Chanda and Amarka narrated the situation to the king, so he became very angry. So Hiranyakashipu became very angry, and so that he wanted to kill his own son Prahlad. and we see that, Hiranyakashipu is very cruel and he's became very angry, but Prahlad Maharaj is very peaceful. Senses under control, and he stood before Hiranyakashipu with the folded hands. So here Narada Muni is saying that according to Prahlad Maharaj, the age and behavior, he was not to be chastised. But Hiranyakashipu is chastising him like anything. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that when someone or anyone, if they wanted to harm a pure devotee or any devotee, exalted devotee, so then their good fortune will go away. So they will get punishment from the laws of nature. So their duration of life can be diminished. Whatever the blessings they are receiving from the superiors will be gone, or whatever the wealth and everything, whatever they have, it will be lost. And here we see that in the example of Hiranyakashipu. So through the severe austerity, so he achieved, he conquered all the 3 planets, and he defeated all the demigods also, and he became very powerful. But still, because he is ready to kill or chastise his son, who is a Bhagavata, great devotee of the Supreme Lord. So now he is going to lose all these things. And Prabhupada quotes Bhagavatam sloka like, Ayu Shriyam Yasho Dharmam Lokan Asesha Evacha Hanti Shreyamsi Sarvani Pumso Mahad Atikramana. Mahad Atikramana. Like when somebody mistreats a great soul, then lifespan, opulence, reputation, religion, whatever it is, good fortune, everything will be destroyed. Of course, we have so many examples like, when somebody offends a great devotee, so they'll be fall down. Like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see that this Brahmana Gopal Chapal, so he was envious towards Srivas Thakur, and due to that he offended Srivas Thakur, and because of that he encountered with leprosy. And though he was very rich and is in a Brahmanical community, so because he got leprosy, they banned him for living in the community. So he has to stay on the outside of the village, on the banks of the Ganges as a beggar, because he lost all his opulence. Of course, later, so he requested forgiveness from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Mahaprabhu told that, you go and beg forgiveness from Srivas Thakur because you offended him only. So then he went and begged forgiveness from Srivas Thakur. Of course, Srivas Thakur did not took it as an offense because he's a very wonderful devotee, is very humble. But as this Gopal Chapal is asking, so Srivas Thakur said, yeah, I have no problem. And then because Srivas Thakur gave the blessings and forgave him this Gopal Chapal, so the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cured him from his leprosy, and then he established back to his normal position. So we understand that, if we offend a great devotee or any devotee, we will lose all our good fortune, or will fall down from our path of bhakti also. So we should be very cautious and in our dealings with the devotees. And in the text 5, so Hiranyakashipu is now chastising or saying all these words to the Prahlad Maharaj, saying that you are impudent, most unintelligent, and is the disruptor of the family and lowest of mankind, violated my power to rule you. So you are a fool like that, And not only that, he's saying that I shall send you to the palace of Yamaraj. So all these negative words he's using against Prahlad Maharaj. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that, so pointing to the Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary in this sloka, saying that, all these things are actually can be seen in a positive way, or the glorifications towards Prahlad Maharaj. He's saying that impudent, it's called Durviniti. So Durviniti means impudent or ungentile, uncivilized. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti gives the meanings of Durviniti in a glorification to Prahlad Maharaj, saying that Du means dukkha, Du means miserable. Like this material world is called dukkhalayam. So V means Vishesha. specifically or especially. Nita means brought in. Durvinita means, so Prahlad Maharaj was brought into this material world specifically for what purpose? To teach this Krishna consciousness to the people who are suffering in this material world, so that they can get out from the clutches of the Maya. So it's glorification to the Prahlad Maharaj, saying that, he's a so exalted devotee. So he was brought specifically from the spiritual world to this material world, so that he can inspire the conditioned living entities like that. And like that, all the chastisement words that Hiranyakashipu was saying is actually glorification of the Supreme Lord, saying that unintelligent, like, Mandatman, like, in Bhagavatam, you see that the people of Kali Yuga are Manda, Sumanda Matayo, Manda Bhagya. They are very lazy or unintelligent or unfortunate, misfortune like that. But Prahlad Maharaj is Mandatman. So here, one way to understand is most unintelligent, but other way is to understand is, so he is the guide for the people who are most unintelligent. So who are very slow or very bad living entities. Like in this case, they are all the sons of the demons. So for them, Prahlad Maharaj became the guide and then helped them to become Vaishnavas, like that. So like that, different meanings. The glorification of Prahlad Maharaj is given by the Srila Vishnu Chakra Thakur. Also, here he mentioned that today I shall send you the place of Yamaraj. And Srila Vishnu Chakra Thakur gives that this Yamakshayam, saying that, Prahlad Maharaj appeared in the dynasty of Hiranyakashipu to deliver Hiranyakashipu from the not going to the Yamaloka. Like, because Hiranyakashipu performed so many sinful activities. So when somebody performs sinful activities, obviously they will go to Yamaloka, so to get the punishment. But when a pure devotee appears in that family, so Trisapta, 21 generations will be liberated. So Hiranyakashipu will be saved going to the Yamaloka because Prahlad Maharaj appeared as his son. So we say Bhagavatottama, or great devotee. So that way, Prahlad Maharaj is glorified by these words from the commentary of Srila Vishnu Chakra Thakur. In the text 6, Hiranyakashipu is saying that, you rascal, you know that when I'm angry, all the planets of 3 worlds tremble. And he's asking, whose powers you became so impudent that you appear fearless and overstep my power to rule you. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that a devotee, though is very powerful, he doesn't claim because he's very humble. So instead, he fully surrenders to Krishna. And he is very confident that Krishna will protect him from all dangerous situations. And Prabhupada quotes Bhagavad Gita sloka, where Krishna mentions that Kaunteya Pratijani Name Bhakta Pranashyata. So he tells to Arjuna to declare that my devotees will never perish. And Prabhupada mentions why he requested, or why he says to Arjuna to declare it. Why not he? So he says that sometimes Krishna may say something and later he may change his view. But when a devotee declares, then Krishna will, at any cost, he will fulfill that promise. So that's why here Krishna asked Arjuna to declare it, that his devotees will never perish. So which means that Krishna will fulfill that declaration that is given by Arjuna. So he will protect all his devotees at any cost. That's why Hiranyakashipu is wondering, this boy, this Prahlada is a 5-year-old boy. He's a very fearless. He's not carrying his harder. Where all the demigods they themselves are able to follow, but this 5-year-old boy is not following, which means that he's very powerful. So he's wondering, Kim Balaha, like where he is getting his strength, so that he became very fearless like that. And in the text 7, now Prahlad Maharaj is saying that, it's very nice sloka here, like he's saying that the source of his strength So which Hiranyakashipu is asking is also the source of the Hiranyakashipu strength. Not only that, he is the source of everyone's strength. So including Lord Brahma. So all the demigods are, everyone's strength is coming from Krishna only. And Lord Brahma also mentions in Bhagavad Gita that they are all empowered, all the demigods empowered by Krishna to perform a certain service in this universe. Like for Lord Brahma, he says that Brahmaya Esha Jagadanda Vidhana Karta. So Lord Brahma is empowered to perform the service of creation. So similarly, Mother Durga Devi or Sun God or Lord Ganesh, he mentions like, they're all empowered by Krishna to perform a certain task. And Prabhupada also mentions that in the purport that quoting the Bhagavad Gita sloka, like saying that Yadyad Vibhutimat Sattvam, like whatever the beautiful or extraordinary things that we see in this material world, they are all Tejoamsa Sambhavam. It's a spark of my splendor. So if we see something very extraordinary, then they're all the spark of Krishna. So that's what Prahlad Maharaj is also confirming here like that. So of course, to understand these things and to take complete shelter of Krishna, so one should do like that. And those people are very rare. Samahatma Sudurlabha, like those kind of Mahatmas are very Durlabha. So who takes the shelter of the Supreme Lord completely. And Prahlad Maharaj, because he's a Mahatma, so that's why he taken complete shelter of Krishna. And he is very confident that Krishna will give protection to him. In the text 8, Prahlad Maharaj is saying that, the Supreme Lord is the supreme controller and time factor, follows me. So he is the time. And his power of the senses, power of the mind, body, and vital force of the senses. So everything is coming from Krishna only. So his influence is unlimited and is the best of all living entities and controller of the three modes of material nature. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that so this material world is under the Mother Durga Devi is controlling it, and she is operating through the three modes of material nature, Sattva, Raja, Tamo, Guna. And they are coming from the Supreme Lord. So he is the actual control of the three modes of the material nature. Krishna also mentions in Bhagavad Gita that Mayadekshana Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. So under his direction, this material nature is working on it. So whether it is manifestation or creation or maintenance or annihilation, so all these things are done by the energy of the Supreme Lord. So in text 9, Prahlad Maharaj is saying that is advising his father to give up his demonic mentality and don't discriminate between enemies and friends. And also occupies your mind towards everyone, because uncontrolled and misguided mind accept that there is no enmity in the world. So one should see everyone in the platform of equality. Prabhupada mentions the purport that so the mind is the one which causes to see someone as enemy, someone as a friend, like that. So that's why it should be controlled. And Prabhupada quotes Bhagavad Gita sloka saying that Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavad dradam. So the mind is very strong. It is very difficult to control. So it's restless. So, and Arjuna says that Tasyaham nigrame manya vayureva sudushkram. He can able to control the wind, but not the mind. So the great personality Arjuna himself is saying that it is very difficult to control mind. Then what to speak of us? But here Prahlad Maharaj is saying that if follow this Krishna conscious process and fix our mind on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Krishna, Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vendayo, like how Ambarish Maharaj did, like, meditating our mind on the lotus feet of Krishna, then we can able to control the mind. So, and then we can able to see everyone in the equal manner. Pandita Samadarshana, like, we'll see in the equal manner. And Prabhupada, Prahlad Maharaj here says that then comes to the position of worshipping the Lord perfectly. So Prabhupada mentions this is the preliminary condition for our entering into the kingdom of the devotional service. So that's why our only task is Bhajarha Mana Srinandanandana. So we should, with all our mind, thoughts, we should worship Lord's Supreme Lord Krishna's lotus feet, like that. So the last sloka for today, Prahlad Maharaj is saying that many fools like you who did not conquer the 6 enemies that steal away the wealth of the Lord. So, and the fools are thinking that I have conquered enemies. But if a person is victorious over the 6 enemies, for him there are no enemies. Prabhupada mentions in the purport that so these are the 6 enemies are the mind and 5 senses. Manaha, Sastandriyani. So those are the real enemies. And in this material world, most of them are controlled by these 6 of them. So they become servant of the senses. Due to that, they are engaged in the sense gratification activities to the Maya process, lusty, anger, greed, illusion, envious nature, those kind of things. So that's why Prabhupada in conclusion says that instead of thinking that his enemy is friend, so if we can focus our mind in Krishna consciousness and take up this process sincerely and seriously, of course I'm talking to myself, then we can be able to situate in the platform of seeing everyone in equal manner, Pandita Samadarshanaha. And then we can be able to progress in the path of Krishna consciousness nicely. So I'll pause it here. Thank you all for giving this opportunity. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vranda ki jai. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.